At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. It is Follow the Money, and we are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. This show is brought to you by DraftKings, and Wednesdays at this time, it is time to speak to Vito's son. Sal Paolantonio joins the program. Happy New Year, sir. How are you?
Oh, happy 2024. I'm doing great. How's my two favorite boys in Vegas doing?
Doing well. Better than the Eagles. Is this rock bottom, or can they drop even deeper into the abyss?
Well, they have a lot of things to fix. They do. It's clear they have major problems offensively and defensively. I think their major problem offensively is they're ignoring A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Eagles ran 26 plays after halftime against the Cardinals, and only one of them was an A.J. Brown target. And that was an 18-yard gain, their longest play of the half. A.J. Brown should be upset. He's one of the top 5 receivers in the National Football League. And so it's a couple of things. One, they're doing a bad job, I think. Bad job. I just said it. Bad job of getting A.J. Brown into the right situations. He should be the underneath receiver. He should be the one running the shallow crosses. He can beat the one-on-one coverage. He led the league in yards after the catch when he was in Tennessee. This guy should be the guy running the underneath routes. He's strong. He's tough. He's physical. He's got great hands. Devontae Smith should be the one running the clear-out routes, the 9 routes, occupying the safeties. They got it all mixed up. And until they get that fixed, their offense is not going to be anywhere near as good as it was last year.
Yeah, well said. Where's Devontae at in terms of health?
You know, I think that's a major point of concern for them because they are already in the playoffs, and they are going to need a healthy Devontae Smith in the wild card round. So that's why I think you're seeing some reverse line movement. You know, what do they do with Devontae Smith? Well, if I'm Nick Sirianni, do I risk further injury or do I risk anything with Devontae Smith? I keep him out of the game and I play him in the wild card round.
Assuming that happens, Cowboys win the division by beating Washington this weekend, and Philly has to go to the winner of the NFC South. Where is your level of confidence at today, thinking that Philly can go there and win?
I don't think they can go either place and win. I don't think they can beat the Saints. Saints would be the other winner besides the Bucks. I've seen the Bucks be up and down, but when they're up, they're very good. When they're down, they're bad. I understand that. Losing to New Orleans was a regression for them. But I've seen when they're up, and I think that was a course correction of a loss to New Orleans, and I would have I'd have very little confidence they could beat the Bucks. And I would not have much confidence at all that they could beat the Saints in New Orleans. I've seen that movie before. Yep. Listen, that New Orleans Saints defense is very good. They really get after the passer like they did against the Bucks. The Bucks are vulnerable to a pass rush. We've talked about that all year long. You know, even in the game against Green Bay, where Baker Mayfield had the perfect passer rating, the only quarterback in history to have a perfect passer rating as a visitor at Lambeau Field, he still was sacked 5 times in that game, guys.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I don't think they're going to go to New Orleans. I think Derek Carr can actually play pretty well against this defense. Sal, a defense that's been so bad. Jalen Carter, the rookie that slid in the draft, they came up and got him. He was recently minus 20,000 to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Well, he's not even playing 50% of the snaps. The defense has been lousy, and now Will Anderson might steal that award. And Kobe Turner is down to plus 575 for the Rams at one book here in Las Vegas. He's going to miss out. He's not going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
And he shouldn't. He's not playing the number of snaps. He's playing half the number of snaps of Fletcher Cox, who's 2,000 years old. Thank God for Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. Last week against Arizona, Matt Patricia used Brandon Graham as a defensive tackle on the inside because Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter can't stay on the field. Now, why can't they stay on the field? Well, it's evident to me that they're pretty good on first down, but then they're gassed by third down.
Wild. Great stuff. Your company has a great doubleheader Saturday. And I know you've been reporting. We saw you last couple of days on ESPN, and you've been around the Ravens. How about the first game? Pittsburgh's laying 3.5 against the Ravens. How do you think, and how should Harbaugh treat this game?
I think it'll be a mix. John Harbaugh has said in the last couple of days that they learned a lot from what happened in 2019 when he rested everybody and they came out flat against Tennessee and they lost in the divisional round to the Tennessee Titans, who then went on to lose to Kansas City, and Kansas City went on to the Super Bowl. I was there that day.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson was the MVP. They lost because Derrick Henry ran up and down the field on the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this Ravens team has learned a lot. They are certainly, I think, a better team than that Ravens team in 2019. They're as good as, in my view, the Ravens team that won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco and Ray Lewis's last ride. They're as good as that team. They've got players up and down the line, but I think that Harbaugh learned from that experience in 2019 that he has to be a little bit smarter and less of a guy who's just stringently looking at it. I'm going to not play these guys the whole game, and I'm going to play these guys somewhat. I think he's got to keep Lamar Jackson fresh a little bit, but I think he's also looked at what happened last week on his own field in garbage time. Mike McDaniel left Bradley Chubb on the field in garbage time, and he suffered a non-contact knee injury, and he's out for the rest of the season. So he's got a big decision to make. That's why I look at the Steelers and I'll see this. They have been the number one rushing team in the NFL in the last 2 weeks. And that's the reason why Mason Rudolph has played better than Kenny Pickett, in my view.
Yeah, great point.
And they already beat the Ravens in Pittsburgh this year. So I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game.
Okay, there's a prop bet here at Circa. Do you want the 49ers and the Ravens against the field? Do you want the 49ers Ravens, or do you want the field? Who wins the Super Bowl?
I want 49ers Ravens. I just look at both of those teams, guys, and I realize San Francisco lost to Baltimore, but San Francisco has boat raced everybody else. I don't see anybody going into San Francisco in the NFC. Dallas, certainly not Philadelphia. Who else? Who else is going into San Francisco winning the NFC Championship game?
Well, let me ask you, what do you think about the team they're playing this week? Where are you at with the Rams?
Could, maybe, perhaps, okay, but it's a bank shot. It's a bank shot. No pun intended.
Yeah. Okay.
And as for Baltimore, I think Harbaugh's learned a lot. I did a one-on-one interview for SportsCenter after the game on Sunday with Lamar Jackson. I've covered him his entire young career. He's only 26, which is unbelievable. If he wins the second MVP and he wins the Super Bowl this year, he's going to the Hall of Fame already.
True.
You know, he's a different guy. He's got his money. He understands what went wrong in 2019. Remember, guys, he's missed a lot of games in December and January in the last 2 years. He's healthy now, and he realizes what he has around him. And Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, is on the same page with his young quarterback. They talk a lot. This is so important, so much different from the previous offensive coordinator. Todd Monken, who just came right out of college, understands young players. He talks to Lamar Jackson. Do you like this? No. Do you like this? Yeah. All right, we're going to run this play. So there is a synthesis that did not exist before. Lamar's more mature. Todd Monken understands what his young quarterback needs. I don't see anybody right now going in and beating the Ravens with the exception of one team. One team. You ready?
Cleveland.
Kansas City.
Correct.
Cleveland.
Correct. Cleveland is the correct answer.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. So I want to ask you, and it's Wednesdays with Vito's son here, Sal Paolantonio, ESPN, VSiN, Follow the Money. Comeback player of the year. It's a tough one. Hamlin's a short favorite. He's made, 2-3 tackles on the season, only played a couple games. And then Flacco off the couch. Who's everyone you talk to, you're a connected guy. Who should win comeback player of the year?
Joe Flacco, 100%. I thought Baker Mayfield had a shot, a good shot, but he just dump trucked himself against New Orleans. So, and I love Baker Mayfield, absolutely loved him. I love him. But that was a bad loss. So I'm giving it to Joe Flacco. Listen, you're walking the dog on Thanksgiving Day. I know. I've known Joe Flacco and his family since Joe was 12 years old.
Wow.
As I told you, we raised our daughters in the neighboring town in South Jersey. I've known him since I saw him play in middle school. I've known his family forever. Great salt-of-the-earth people. Just wants to go out there and do his job. As you saw after the game, when they beat the Jets, all the Jets players coming up to him, congratulating him. Players love Joe Flacco. But there's another part of the equation, gentlemen, that we've talked about since September. Jim Schwartz and that defense.
Yeah.
Look at what Jim Schwartz and that defense is doing in pass defense. The game is all about, can your quarterback hold on to the ball? Is he turning the ball over? Is your defensive coordinator good in pass defense?
Sal Pal, that was an A-plus appearance.
Yes.
Thanks as always. We appreciate the time. Happy New Year.
Oh, it's always great to talk to you guys. Talk to you next week.
You got it.
Sounds good.
Playoffs.
Wednesdays with Vito's son, Sal Paolantonio. But that was awesome.
Cleveland.
I didn't know where he was going to go. It was one of my two guesses, Cleveland or Kansas City. I thought he was going to shock the world and say KC.
Get on board, join the team, become a VSiN Pro subscriber today. Get a daily email recapping all the best bets from every host and guest. Unlimited access to the vsin.com/picks page. Sort by sport, matchup, date, and more. Bill 80 will tell you that Matt Humans, Johnny Utah, two entries in the top 3 of the circa millions to win the quarterly. Pro picks, betting splits, power ratings, dog videos. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today. Sign up now, $9.99, vsin.com/subscribe. Great job by Sal Paolantonio. And talking about Lamar Jackson, and also I was high on Monken when they hired him, and based on the press conference and how creative he was. But I have to go back to the summer when, could you have had him? Maybe. But Lamar Jackson could have been available. And I remember all the tweets that people sent in. Don't want him. Overrated. Can't pay him that kind of money. He's going to win another MVP, and he's on the 1 seed of the AFC with a great chance to go to the Super Bowl, and they just eviscerated San Francisco. And at the same time, Washington, Atlanta, and Carolina all 3 organizations sent out tweets. Don't want him, no interest. Okay, how's that going, right? What, guys want to give Fields $40 million a year? You want to pay Trevor Lawrence all that money?
But this guy's not worth it, huh?
Come on, guys. Knock it off. And look at what's going on with Carolina. Tepper could have had Lamar Jackson. Tepper could have had somebody else. But Tepper decided...
They could have had C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, they decided to go Bryce Young and give up all those picks with Bryce Young and go 2-15 this year.
It works pretty well, right, when the owner of a NFL franchise really likes to dig in deep and be hands-on. Like that guy is in Carolina, like Jerry Jones has been forever now in Dallas, and of course with the Ring of Honor with Jimmy Johnson over the weekend. I was salty. I didn't get any of the credit. I couldn't stand that. That's why I had to kick you to the curb, even though we were winning Super Bowls and you were building a dynasty. I couldn't handle that as the owner.
Incredible, right?
What a travesty. Can you imagine being a Cowboys fan and having you knew this the whole time, but then he's going to come out. Use punt? Screw you. No more season tickets. I'm done with the team. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it did work out one year, but he was just so arrogant that's like, we are so good. I can bring in any coach here and we'll win. And they did it once with Switzer, but it was like, Yeah, I would be ticked off if I'm a Cowboy
30
fan.
years, Paul.
I know. How about Atlanta? Arthur Blank. You wanted Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
You didn't want Lamar Jackson? And you're stuck here with Ritter and Heineke and Art Smith, and you're going to, with the easiest schedule in the league, and I'm going to go 500.
Right. A proven guy in the league who's won a zillion games, an MVP. This is before this year. Could have been had. Yeah, you got to give up some picks. Nah, I'll take my chance. I'll trade up from number 9 for a kid who's 5'9". Good job. And oh, by the way, the difference again, I'll bring up Michael Penix one more time on today's show to compare him to like Alabama quarterbacks and what we've said about Bama quarterbacks forever. Quarterbacks at Alabama are playing in front of 5 different 5-star offensive linemen. Not this year, but every other year they've had an abundance of 5-star wide receivers who are incredible and going to be first-round picks. Tua, Hurts, guys like Bryce Young, most of the time they're throwing to guys who are 5 yards open. It's easy for them, right? So how does that translate to the NFL level? Michael Penix does not do that. As good as his receivers are, he's still dropping the ball in a bucket where it has to be, as we saw against Texas for an entire game the other night. That's how accurate that guy is. He doesn't need his receivers to get open by 5 yards. And I don't know if they're going to hold his age and his injury history against him when it comes to the first round. But if that guy was fully, the responses that we got, by the way, on Twitter yesterday when we talked about that, I think every single person said, no thank you to Caleb Williams. I'd rather have Michael Penix late in the first round.
Interesting. Would you rather have Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, though? I mean, this is going to be a wild couple months here for the Bears and their fans.
Okay.
Now I did see several people in the league said, you are going to be able to get a bigger haul this year than last year for the number 1 pick.
Yeah, there was a lengthy story written at ESPN.com.
I love Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be a superstar. I also understand the concerns about what went on this year with USC, and certainly, the attitude and the ego with the guy, and some of the interesting behavior. I want to own the team, but this is crazy. But with the right situation, I just think he's just going to be a superstar. But if you can get that type of haul, though. But I also understand the anti-field stuff. And I know his teammates going to bat for him, and it looks good right now because you're winning games. But if you fall behind, can you sling it 35 times and come back with Justin Fields? I mean, is he a pocket passer? No. So I think this is actually, while it's a great story, you could see it coming a mile away. This is going to turn out to be a bad thing for the Bears. They're just going to run it back, and we're going to do this again next year and the year after. I totally agree with the Lombardi. I would not give Fields $40 million a year.
Well, there's got to be some middle ground, though, here, right? I mean, in a perfect world, not every quarterback, after the rookie deal is up, deserves a $300 million contract at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give Derek Carr $35 million when he goes to a second team. It's absurd. Mm-hmm. So does Fields deserve – there's got to be – you need to, sit down and say, look, we want to keep Justin Fields, Fields, his agent, whoever else, but we're not going to give him $250 million. We'll give you $30 million a year, and we'll make it work, and we'll put a really good team around him. And if he says no to that, then you have to, a big decision on it. But you don't, just because the market has done this to other quarterbacks doesn't mean by default you have to give the incumbent quarterback that much money. That's utter stupidity, because not every quarterback is worth the same amount of money. Executives in this story at ESPN.com did say the price for the number 1 pick this year could be 2 future first-rounders on top of this year's first-round pick, along with a variation of a day 2 pick and or premium veteran player or a manageable contract, like when the Panthers threw in DJ Moore and made this trade to go up to number 1 this past year. If that's the case, I honestly don't know how the Bears say no to it. I think you have to say, we'll make that trade right now.
Well, here's another thing. You make that trade, and you still have the another pick too. But if you want to say, I will help Fields develop and I can put Marvin Harrison on the team.
Yeah, right.
How about that? And everyone says this guy's going to be the next Randy Moss, so that would also help out Chicago. But then again, where are you at with a Drake May, a Daniels, a Penix, moving down the list, and where these other quarterbacks could go too?
It's a really good conversation. You're telling me that if a team, let's say it's the Commanders, they offered and they get the 2nd pick overall. they offered the two future ones, a future second, and a player, would you say no to that?
I'd do that. You got to do it.
You move down to number 2 and then
Right.
what, take Marvin Harrison? Or you could maybe trade down again if you'd like.
Yes, you can. And I still have that other pick as well. That's
You could actually do a really good job of lying once you trade down and just make it out there that we really like Drake May. May's available at number 2. Some of these other teams, are they going to take him? Do they have a deal in the works for Justin Fields? You could just lie the entire time, knowing that you're going to keep him and then trade the pick.
all excellent points about Alabama quarterbacks too. And I was on record time and time again. I hated the pick. I couldn't believe it because of his size.
Yeah, Young.
I'm bigger than Bryce Young. I'm an emaciated puke. I mean, look at me. I'm bigger than Bryce Young. Taller, but certainly, the lies about how much he actually weighed.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it. I can't believe they did that. And to your point, though, one organization is loving life with a chance to make the playoffs. Houston, Stroud. Mm-hmm. The other organization is in deep doo-doo because this kid cannot play, and he just threw for 100 yards against Jacksonville, and they can't stop a nosebleed.
I mean, is there, think about this, for like fans of, what's their win total next year? And fans in that region, they have no hope going into next season. None. I fully trust the owner to get it right with the new head coach. Bryce Young's going to rebound and have a great second year. There isn't one person thinking that.
Well, he's a nut. I mean, that's the other thing.
But I keep going back to the Frank Reich and McCown video / audio.
Yeah.
When, we'll see on the basketball court.
In Charlotte.
That's who they wanted. They wanted Stroud. Tepper comes in. Nope. Not on my watch. I mean, how the NFL would be potentially just completely different this year. Where are the Texans with Bryce Young? I don't know.
It's wild. This can be great. But the other thing about Chicago is Chicago also was winning games because of the defense. The Sweat trade was awesome. Look how well Chicago's defense is playing.
It's worked out exceedingly
well. That's another
well.
reason. I mean, we can't forget what happened early on in the season, though. Fields was horrendous. They also won that Monday night game at Minnesota 12-10. Mm-hmm. Fields made one play in that game. Mm-hmm. And there's, but it shows the character and moxie to make that throw to him. He made one play in the game. They had 4 interceptions. It was 12-10. Come on.
Oh, they also should have won the Cleveland game, and his receivers did him no help in that contest.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. Right.
It's also,
they blew
year 3.
the Detroit game. They blew the Detroit game on the road, sure.
Yeah, like can Fields get better?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only year 3. Would you rather have Fields or Bryce Young?
Oh, please.
I mean, it's...
Yeah. That's Roseanne Rihanna. Come on.
At least Fields in his rookie season, the point where Young's at right now, Fields showed some stuff like, hey, this guy might get it. So, door number 1 or door number 2 is up next. We'll kick this around. Will we ask Sal Paolantonio, do you want the Ravens or Niners to win the Super Bowl or the field?
All right, great New Year's gift. Perfect holiday gift for you and New Year's gift. Sign up today. Get unlimited access to the daily best bets, exclusive betting splits, premium analysis, 24/7 video, every betting guide as well. March Madness a couple months away. Limited time offer, vsin.com/subscribe. vsin.com/subscribe. Here we go.
It's time to play everyone's favorite Follow the Money game. Live from the VSiN studios.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
This is door number 1.
New high score! What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What's that mean? Should I break it?
Or door number 2.
Get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Here's Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard.
Pauly, here we go. Door number 1. Would you rather bet Michigan minus 4.5 against Washington for the Natty, or door number 2, let's project ahead in the wild card round NFL playoffs. We changed it up a little bit. Lions minus 4.5 or 5 at home to the Rams.
Boy, that's tough. Man, in the last 2 years, Washington's been under a dog 5 times. They've won all 5. Washington has played 9 ranked opponents. The last 9, they've beaten all 9 of them. So this is... Oh, boy. And I think it's a bad matchup for the Lions, too. I mean, I would love the Rams in that game.
Catching 5?
Yeah.
So then tells me you'd rather bet Michigan against Washington.
Yeah. I'm still maybe they're just too physical. That's possible. But
let's
certainly
flip it then.
Washington's got the best offensive line. But I just saw what they did to Milroe and the 6 sacks and
Sure.
the 10 tackles. But it's like you're not even Milroe and Penix aren't playing the same sport. So that's tough.
I'll flip it then. Which dog would you rather have? Washington plus the 4.5 or the Rams plus 4.5 or 5 against the Lions?
Okay, I'll take the Rams.
Take the Rams.
It's a hard one though. That's a tough one.
All right. Door number 1, Puka Nacua, around plus 450 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Or door number 2, Victor Wembanyama, now plus 160-ish to win Rookie of the Year in the NBA.
Well, Saturday's enormous because if Stroud wins this game, they're in the playoffs. But again, what Puka's done, and it hasn't missing time, and he's a big reason why the Rams are the 6th seed. And the year he's put up and breaking records, I can't see, unless Chet gets hurt, I can't see him giving it to Wembanyama. And how about the year Jaquez is having with the Miami Heat?
It's awesome.
He is awesome. I saw the special on him on NBA TV and when they drafted him, and boy, can they evaluate talent
No
with their
kidding.
organization. I got to go door 1.
Okay.
Absolutely,
Puka.
door 1 with Puka.
All right. Door number 1, we threw this out to Sal Pal. Ravens or Niners to win the Super Bowl at minus 115, or door number 2, the field at minus 115.
I want to hear what you say because I have 2 future tickets for $30,000, $27,000, and $30,000 on Baltimore and San Francisco. So
I've gotten scorched with this before. Jimmy Vaccaro made a prop for me years ago. I had my Super 7 against the field. The field won. I lost a bet to the mayor here in town. What a debacle that was. He'll never let me hear the end of it. Anyway, so it looks too easy with me, Ravens and 49ers, so I'd go the field.
would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't love it.
Yeah. I guess it's we saw what happened in 2019, and we saw what Purdy looked like on Monday Night Football. Could a Purdy implosion happen? But
Yep.
That's a great prop, though. $1.15 here at Circa.
Door number 1, Kevin Stefanski, minus 1,000 to win Coach of the Year, or door number 2, the field.
Absolutely door number 2.
Oh!
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes. Because of this game Saturday. No matter what happens, someone's in the playoffs, Steichen or Ryans. And I know it's only one guy, as you said, but Detillier has a vote, and he was on last week, and he says, I don't care if they don't even go to the playoffs, I'm taking Ryans. How bad Houston and that organization have been. So I think it's a little high. And I will go back to about 11 months ago. With a month left in the season, Sirianni was a $4 favorite. He wasn't even a finalist.
Yeah.
I think Stefanski's going to get it, but it's too high. I'd have to take the field.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that what you just said can absolutely happen. Ryans or Steichen can still steal this thing.
Okay. To the other angle, we have asked every guest for 2-3 weeks. Not one person has said Hamlin's comeback player of the year. Every person has said Flacco.
But he remains the favorite.
But it's small, though. I know.
No?
Small.
Are you,
But I know, but it's...
Are you adding Flacco?
Yeah. Keep betting him.
Okay.
I don't have the 250, the 100 to 1. That I don't have that.
Well, hey, I got
What I got?
$20 on that. That's what I was allowed to get down. It's fun, huh?
Yeah, unbelievable. Sure.
Door number 1, free tickets to the Super Bowl. Or door number 2, free tickets to all 4 games at an unnamed location for the first round during March Madness.
Well, do I have to go to the game?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I have to go to the game.
You have to go to the Super Bowl, or you have to go to all 4 games March Madness.
Okay. I was going to say I want C. I want door 3. I want sportsbook in Las Vegas. Or I was going to hang with Brian Musburger. I take the Super Bowl tickets and sell them. And go
No, you got to go.
Okay.
This is an easy one
Yeah,
for me.
door 2.
Oh, no.
Door 2.
No.
Why?
That's
What do you
the
mean
wrong
no?
door.
Why?
I'm going door 1 because you can have all your bets in place. By the way, the Super Bowl's out here. You can still make bets live if you want to see it live. If you go to all 4 days of the first round, that means you're going to miss the other, what do we have, 12 games going on that day?
When's the last time you went to an NFL game?
I went to one last year on a Sunday. I went to Ravens. I went to Raiders 49ers.
It is alarming. Now, I know things have changed now with your phone and everything. It is alarming how much downtime there is during the NFL game.
I hate going
in
NFL
person.
games live. I can't. It's the worst sport to go to live.
Because you don't notice while you're watching, but all the commercial breaks and the downtime about, okay, we're in a TV timeout now, and the guys are just standing around playing grab ass in the huddle.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I'd rather watch the Super Bowl at my house as well, but I don't want to miss the entire day of March Madness. I can't do that.
You're right. All right, I saw your tweet while you were off with the holidays.
That's
a good one.
Okay.
Door 1. Can you believe this?
No,
Coming
I
on
can't.
HBO later this year, The Jinx, Season 2. It's a top 5 documentary. Unbelievable. It was happening in real time. And before the season finale, Durst was arrested because of the show. Door 1, The Jinx Season 2. Door 2, Severance Season 2.
Well, see, this is where I would go door 3. I would say The Boys on Amazon Prime Season 4, but that's not an option. I'm only 2 episodes into Severance, so I'm taking my time.
Oh, that's all it is?
Charge said, take your time. I'm taking my time.
I know you were blown away by the first episode.
It was phenomenal, especially the end of it. It was just that twist at the very end. I'm like, wow, did not see that one coming. But this is door number 1 with a bullet, as you said. And we've brought this show up probably, 5-6 times in the history of this show, maybe more. If you've never seen The Jinx on HBO, it's like the highest stamp of approval that Pauly and I can ever give on a show, right? Wouldn't you agree? For a show that people may not have heard, people may not have heard of it.
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. Yes.
Yeah, it's a docuseries. It blows your mind how good, and it was happening in real time as Durst was eventually arrested yet again. So it's The Jinx Season 2, and I don't know how they're going to do this. I have no idea how they put it together. I can't wait though, because the first season was as good as anything I've ever watched in my entire life.
Door 1. The NFL adopts the college rule, and pass interference is only 15 yards. Or door 2, your girlfriend or wife for the next 5 to 10 years will never be late, will always be ready, and there's no, dinner's at 6, I'm not ready, I still, they're always ready to go, never late, yada, yada.
That is your best question of all time. Because in my head right now, I'm picturing myself yelling at Lorraine.
Right. I'm not got the hair done, no.
You said 5:30! It's 5:35. Train's leaving. Let's go already. Just give me 10 more minutes. That's not the way it works. Yeah. And boy, is that true. When you're growing up and you have older brothers that are like, Mitch, get ready for this because they're going to be late and not ready, not prepared every single time. Oh, I had no idea it was going to be like this.
In between stints with Shauna, I was with this one girl. We went out 3 times, and she was late half an hour the first 2 dates. I'm like, and then she was running late the third date. I just sent a limo for her. I was already here. We were having dinner at Barry's. I go, this is ridiculous, because she was working on the script.
Oh.
I just sent a limo for her. I go, how easy can I make this for you? And she moved to L.A. I just sent a limo for her, and it's like, I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, my heart rate is going up right now, as is my blood pressure, thinking about Lorraine being late so often. However,
yes,
I cannot stand the pass interference rule so much, especially if I have a bet that's affected by some stupid 49-yard pass down the field.
And
he had no chance of catching
it. It was innocuous hand fighting.
All right, right? Yeah. But it's your ball, first and goal at the 3-yard line. I lose my bet. It's got. So which one would I rather have, or do I need to get rid of?
No, you got to select one.
I'd rather put up with Lorraine being late all the time.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how much I hate the stupid pass interference rule.
Okay. Wow. That is strong.
You?
Yeah. I'll get rid of. I adopt the college rule.
Yeah.
I'll put up with the nonsense, even though still, you can have a fun ending with it.
Hey, Shauna or the in between gal?
Yes.
Or previous? Do they ever lose things, by the way?
Well, not to your extent.
Oh, this is uncanny. I'm going to go back in my.
Did it happen again?
Oh, you have no idea the things that she has lost. I'll come up with a list sometime and run it down. No hyperbole, no exaggeration. It'll blow your mind. How many things where is it at again? Okay, great. We'll get into the NBA card coming up tonight. There's a lot to like on the schedule here on VSiN.
This week, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $150 in bonus bets instantly, and you get the NBA League Pass for the rest of the season. Download the app, use promo code VSiN when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, incredible menu, great props. The crown is yours. Our producer, Luke, is blown away because The Jinx came out in 2015. But as Mitch said during the break, Robert Durst was just living his life. And had just been charged with murder a couple times, and he got off. And then he's like, yeah, okay, I'll talk to this guy who's doing a documentary. And a result of time, this lawyer had a great line. You're going to run the risk of pissing people off here. And the guy, Hot Mike, unique way of spelling Beverly, as in Beverly Hills. And it was just, it's wild. 3 or 4 episodes at the end of it, your jaw's on the floor.
Yeah, and that the reason why Durst got arrested again was this show was happening in real time, and they're like, we need to find this guy.
Yeah.
And he was trying to flee the country.
Right. They caught him in a hotel in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Right?
He wanted to bail.
Disguises and mask and everything. The other one, too, about what?
He has since passed away.
Right. The other one, too, is I would even tell Shauna, I didn't even put a hat on. I don't care. Just be on time. Who cares? You know, we're just hanging out, going to have dinner, drinks, nothing's fancy.
Oh, good luck with that.
I know. It's no kidding. Good luck with that. It's like there's not a runway for you. You're going live on IG and showing out, you're going to grade you, and it's America's Next Talent, top model, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just put a hat on. Let's go. End it.
Well, to them, though, the camera's on and the world's watching at all seconds of the day.
Very good. Very good.
So
no doubt.
The latest thing, I'm not going to throw her under the bus. We should bring Lorraine on the show one time in person, and then I can just run down the things that she has lost and just barbecue here for 5 minutes, and then I want to hear her retort, because I know that she's going to have like something dialed up for like a 2-minute rant to say why I'm such a bad person as well. I think it'd be pretty good.
What does it have to do with you, though?
Oh, she'll just rub it in my face and tell the audience exactly what it's like to live with me. I'm probably no walk in the park.
You don't lose stuff, though, right?
Oh, no, I don't. I don't leave my purse in the seat of an airplane when you're deplaning and you're going to your next destination. Things like that.
Kind of important.
Yeah, maybe you might need that ID for the third time.
Who is she, duffel bag boy? I mean, this leaving. Hey, it's like, is it Babu? Hey, is that his passport in your mail? He might need that, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Doesn't he need that? Kramer says, Babu.
Evidently, the Army is strong here for Follow the Money on the East Coast and other parts nationally as well. We brought up, and I have a long story about this too long to share on the air today, but trying to get down on some of these awards markets, not exactly the easiest thing to do, as I spent all day yesterday and a little bit of Monday trying to do this. Anyway, long story short, Jalen Carter, as I've been telling you for 2 weeks, he should not win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was minus 20,000 2 weeks ago. So huge numbers were out there on other players. And one guy I was searching for a long time was Kobe Turner. He finally popped on the board yesterday a little bit, but earlier this morning, back at an East Coast book, he was 25-1. He dropped all the way down to, currently speaking, at 7-1. He went from 25 to 16 to 10 to 8 to 7, where he's at right now. And another book had him 18 when we talked to Sal Pal. Gone. See you later. That's down below 10 now, 10-1.
Bomb.
The books are adjusting. Carter's not going to win.
Sal's reaction was great. Nor should he.
Yeah, how about that?
Jalen Carter, come on, get out of here.
I don't know. I have no idea why he was priced like that. And if he wins when they announce the awards, I will be shocked right now. No way, no how. A guy who doesn't play 50% of the snaps on a ridiculously bad defense should win the award. So, tonight in the NBA, Bucks are playing at the Pacers. Pauly, scores so far on the year. This is unusual because of the in-season tournament. It's already the 5th meeting between these two teams. Bucks are laying 3.5. Total is 257. Pacers beat them 3 times already. 126-124, 128-119, and 122-113 just a couple days ago.
But the total has only gone over once because you just see how high this total is now. And, they just played and it didn't even have a chance, 122-113. So, Milwaukee, they're saying all the right things, and they still have a great record in the number 2 seed in the East. A tough matchup for them, but, Freak, I like what Freak said about, the loss the other night and learn from it, and it can be helpful and a positive that you go back and have to study the tape and what's wrong. There's so many teams that are going to make a trade here with the deadline coming up in a month and who needs what, but we asked Brian Mahoney, who covers the league for the AP, about is there a big gap between Boston and Milwaukee? I don't think so, but certainly there's a lot of things that Milwaukee has to clean up. I will say this. I did think they would just be ridiculous on offense. I thought the duo of Lillard and Freak would be unstoppable. And maybe that'll be the case once we get to the playoffs. But I thought they would be unguardable, and that hasn't been the case yet. And I'm still disappointed in the defense, and certainly there's growing pains with the new coach.
Where are you at with Philadelphia compared to those two teams?
I think the Bucks are better, but still I know Embiid has been out of his mind. And people say you shouldn't bring it up, but you have to. They've never made a conference final here with this group in Embiid. So until Embiid can win one of these big series, and they blew it last year against Boston, Maybe the best question is why are we so carried away with Boston? I mean, they should have lost to Philly last year, and Embiid was hurt and missed games in that series.
Yeah, and Philly's better than they were a year ago.
And Boston blew it. Come on, you're down 0-3 to the Miami Heat.
Yeah, I think this year for Philadelphia is going to be like last year for Denver.
Well, the thing about Philly is I know they're going to make a trade.
They are, and Denver finally got over that hump with the Joker and made it to the finals.
Yeah.
I think the Sixers are absolutely dangerous.
And I like Nick Nurse a lot, too.
Yeah, you have to.
So these playoffs are going to be fantastic, and those possible matchups. So in any event, with this game, though, we'll see. It's a tough matchup, no doubt. And that is just so high.
I couldn't go over.
It was 262 the other night when these teams met.
You have
a one bad 3-minute stretch. That's all she wrote.
Yeah. It was a bad. I went to that game out here in Las Vegas. It was super high. And I bet some alt unders in that game along with the regular under. And it got off to a super fast start, and it died for like 4 minutes in the first quarter, and it never had a chance after that.
And I like how the Pacers are playing now, turning it around since the bad run after the in-season tournament and the game out here. I can't say the same thing for the Lakers. What is going on here? They did have the big win at OKC when it was AD who called it a must-win. Is this real or fugazi? Is Darvin Ham on the hot seat? You can't wait. LeBron James doesn't have that many years left, and it certainly doesn't have that many years left in Los Angeles. That you have to take advantage of this. Number one, he's playing great ball, and AD's having a great year.
AD's having like a career year almost.
You can't be 500. You just can't. So between you want to blame Russell, you want to blame the supporting cast, the injuries, Hachimura, whatever, I could also point the finger at Ham. And I know Kendrick Perkins called him out too. He's got to do a better job. And even going back to the Minnesota game, LeBron is like making a face like he smelled a bad fart when Ham's drawing up the last possession of the game.
They're 17-17 on the year. They're fourth in the Pacific. They're one game ahead of the Warriors, currently the 10 seed. 11 of the next 12 are at Crypto. They get Miami. Think about this stretch for a second.
No Jimmy Butler.
Yep, it's Miami, and the Lakers are 6.5-point favorites tonight. Memphis, Clippers, Raptors, Suns. Then they go at the Jazz. By the way, Jazz 12-3 ATS at home. That's the best in the league. Then it's OKC and Dallas back at home. I think this is like, I call it do or die, call it what you want, but this is a massive 10-game stretch here coming up for the Lakers.
Yep.
And they're only at 17-17. And they're laying 6 tonight against a feisty Heat team. I get it, with no Jimmy Butler. Do you want to ride this OKC train tonight? It's a back-to-back. They won. They covered obviously against the Celtics last night. They're 9-4 ATS on the road. Hawks are the worst team ATS in basketball. They're 7-25. The Thunder are 3-0 ATS with no rest, and 4-1 ATS with the rest disadvantage on the year.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on here. But how late they got in off the big win against Boston, and interesting nightlife in Atlanta, or things you can do to kill time as well. But Atlanta's been no doubt it's been a joke how bad they've been. And for this team to be this many games under 500, I mean, again, Trae Young, how many coaches can we fire here to make you happy? I mean, what's your excuse this year? So now they're going to have to ship out Murray and see where he can land. Because, again, they've been outscored when the two are on the floor together. So I got to see what happens from who plays. But I don't want the Thunder. I don't want the Hawks. No way. And here's another one. Look at the 249 the total.
Right. Yeah, it's OKC or pass for me in this game.
Now, and the Clippers taking money as well.
Up to 3.5, Paul.
What a freight train. And again, as we talked about with Julian Edlow, only 2 losses since December 1st. And Kawhi didn't play in both games. And one of them was a back-to-back at OKC. They did the right call. It was common sense, but you can't play Harden and Westbrook at the same time. Westbrook buying into the supporting cast and coming off the bench role. And we laughed when he said it. Harden was absolutely right. When we figure this out, it's going to be scary. And it has been. And they just blitzed Miami the other night, and they were down 12 early on and ran them out by 20.
All right, believe it or not, golf is back. The Century Tournament of Champions starts tomorrow in Maui. Indy Jeff Seeley joins the program. Best Bets next.